All right, I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. We've got a little bit of wind this weekend, definitely in the outer stuff. Inner banks and along the coast should be fine. Once you get outside the Cat, you know, it's be blowing 15 knots on Sunday. Saturday looks okay. Sunday getting breezy, but I mean, it's still fishable. I think for bigger boats, sport boats shouldn't be an issue at all. Maybe the skips, I would, you know, keep an eye on the weather. But fishing has dropped off a little bit overall, and I don't know if it's just in the wake of that hurricane we had, or just a downside in the lunar cycle. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but let's head out to the map and take a look at what's happening. All right, let's head up to the Channel Islands. The Dorado and Bluefin have definitely made their way up there, and there's good volume of fish up there. They're not biting every day. I know the Aloha Spirit had like 90 or 100 Dorado one day and a couple of Bluefin on a full day trip, and boats up there finding fish pretty close to home. It's not always a home run. I think they missed the other day and had to go back into fishing the islands, got some bass and things like that, but there's fish up that way. If you're heading out on your own boat up that way, definitely look at the weather this weekend. I didn't look too closely on what Saturday looks like up there, but Sunday looks pretty windy. Heading down the coast, that Bluefin is still in that same area, outside Cat to Clemente, and you know, up to the Channel Islands. I mean, basically all the way up to Anacapa spread around there's fish, basically. But the guys are getting them trolling Mad Max. I don't hear about a lot of guys casting on foamers right now, but that's just the guys that do that may not be on them, or may not be fishing right now. They're getting them on a flying fish and kite. A lot of big fish around. See those 200-pound plus fish being caught. And the multi-day trips are getting them at night. So your best bet, as usual, for that sub is either a 4-pack boat or go on a multi-day trip and get in on that action. It's not going to be too pleasant up there this weekend at night, especially. It'll be breezy and rough. But heading into San Clemente Island, the yellowtail are still biting on the front side. It hasn't been getting a whole lot of coverage at all. There's really been zero coverage. I think it's going to see quite a bit of coverage this weekend with the War Heroes on Water tournament, where we got 50 boats taking out wounded veterans on Sunday and Monday. So if you see a boat flying a War Heroes on Water flag, make sure and give them a honk and a wave if you're out on the water. Yellows are on the front. I'm sure there's yellows on the back as well, just not a lot of coverage. I didn't really hear about a lot of the bass guys going over. The guys that normally go over there ended up fishing the CCA tournament out of San Diego this weekend. I think they all went to Mexican waters to fish, but I'm sure that's biting. Catalina, there's some yellows there. Bass, bonita, same stuff, has been biting there the whole time. It's getting more coverage now that the Dorado slowed down a little bit on the local banks. Talk about those local banks, you know, so there were Dorado basically from the boot above Rocky all the way down to Oceanside along the beach, but that's really kind of thinned out a bit. I don't know where they went. I don't know if they went back west, or they went up, or they went somewhere where no one's really looking, but they're not seeing as much volume as they were before. And from what I'm hearing, they're not biting as good as they were either, but that might just be due to an off day or water temperature drop or something like that. You can still find fish all through that zone, but most of the guys are concentrating down below Cat now on either that ridge down through those banks, or on the ridge from, you know, Clemente Ridge all the way down to the Mexican border, and inside there, there's, you know, you got a chance of going out there and finding some fish, but it hasn't been red hot the last few days. Haven't heard much about bluefin in that lower zone or yellowfin, but there are both of those around. Just didn't hear a lot of coverage this week at all, but you know, in on the beach, you can. I'm sure you can go catch bass, you know, along the kelp pretty much anywhere right now. I know that the half-day boats and stuff like that were all fishing Dorado are kind of reverting back to their old schedule. So once they get their limits of sculpin, like they have to catch every day, they might go look around and catch some bass and later in the day and see what, you know, get a better update on what's happening out there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you went to go bass fishing this weekend along the coast, you'd probably have pretty good fishing. What else? Down at the Coronados, there's been some yellows biting down there. It's been kind of inconsistent. But then again, it's not really getting a lot of coverage. So, you know, it's a lot of area to fish for if you're just 1 or 2 boats down there. And I think that the full day boats out of San Diego, they may start to have a little bit less tuna to target and Dorado to target in full day range. They might start going back to Coronado. So probably get more of an idea what's going on there once that happens. Speaking about that stuff outside of San Diego, there's still yellowfin, bluefin, Dorado, but it's mostly Dorado and yellowfin now. I know there's the bulk of those fish are down a ways, so you're more in overnight range. It's down outside of Ensenada and stuff. That's a really long run on a full day boat. Private boaters could have, you know, no problem running down there, but if we get that west wind in the afternoon, you're really going to be regretting that run down there if you have to run uphill in it the whole way. But yeah, that's about it for this week. I wish I had, you know, better news. It's just kind of an off week, but there's still plenty of stuff to catch, and it might be a great weekend. So good luck if you're heading out.